What's going on? Aaron Goldsten here. So in this video, we're going to talk about Primerica. We're going to talk about what Primerica is and what you should know and expect if you decide to be one of their representatives. I was in Primerica for over a year as a representative, so I understand what goes on behind the scenes. And I want to share with you in this video things that they will not share with you if you're thinking about joining the company. In this video, we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly, because there is some good, but there's also some things that are kind of hidden that they try to pull the rug over that they don't really want to talk about. And it's important that you understand exactly what you're going to be getting into if you decide to join the company. So let's go ahead and talk about both things. We're going to talk about the good, and then we're going to talk about things that you kind of need to be aware of. So the first thing is, if you're thinking about becoming a rep for Primerica, what does that mean? What will you be doing? Primerica sells financial services. So they got term life insurance, mutual funds, annuities, things like that. And if you are going to be a Primerica representative, you are going to be expected to sell those services. Now, the good news is every time you sell one of those services, Primerica is going to give you some money. So if you get someone to sign up for term life insurance, Primerica will give you some money, and usually it's a decent amount of money. It can be $300, $400, $500. It can be $1,000 plus if, let's say, you get someone to buy their term life insurance. Now, the question I have for you is, where are you going to find the people to sell term life insurance to? Where are you going to find the people to sell Primerica's products to? I used to work at AT&T. I own a few businesses now, so I don't have a job currently. But I used to work at AT&T, and I was a salesperson for AT&T. So you ever go to an AT&T store where they sell cell phones? I worked there. So I'd go there, I'd clock in, and I'd kind of stand by the door, and whenever someone would come in, their phone was broken, or they had an old phone, or they were with T-Mobile, and they're thinking about coming on over to AT&T, I would then try to sell those people AT&T products. Whenever someone bought the AT&T products, I would make some money. AT&T provided the customers for me. I didn't have to go out there and try to find the customers. Primerica is not going to provide customers to you. It is your responsibility to go out there and find people to sell Primerica services to. How are you going to do that? Well, you can do that when you're out and about talking to people. If you're at the restaurant, you could ask the server if they have life insurance and if they're thinking about buying it, and you could try to sit down and sell them life insurance. That's kind of difficult to do. You have to be a very good salesperson to do that. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm not saying you can't learn how to do it, but it can make a lot of people uncomfortable, and it's not the easiest skill set to learn. So the pro is, Primerica is a legit company. If you sell their stuff, you will make money. The con is your responsibility to go out there and find the people to sell stuff to. It's not like Primerica says, hey, listen, we have all these people here. They're lined up out the door. All you got to do is sit down with them and explain what it is we have. No, you got to go out there and grind it out from start to finish. Now let's talk about the next part. And again, the next part's got a big pro. It's got a big con. Let's talk about both. The next thing is you can actually recruit people underneath you. So we're going to say this is you, okay? This is you. You are the Primerica representative. Let's say that you run into an old schoolmate of yours named George. And you ask George what he's doing. And George is working somewhere making $10 an hour. George wants to make more money. If you bring George, we're going to say this stack of money right here is George. If you bring George underneath you, so you introduce George to Primerica, George goes on your Primerica team. Now, if George goes out there and he starts selling Primerica services, when George gets, let's say, his neighbor Susan to sign up for Primerica, George might make $1,000, but then you, just because you introduced George to Primerica, you might make, let's say, $80 or $100 or even $200 off of the effort that George did. The benefit of this is if you get a George and a James and a Susan and a Donovan, and you get a bunch of people all underneath you. When these guys are out there selling, you got a bunch of people underneath you selling Primerica services. You get a little bit of everything that they sell, so you can literally get to the point where you're making, you can be making $50, $100, $200,000 a year not doing anything because you have a team of people you built that are out there selling. That's a big pro. Now we got to talk about the con. What's the con? The con is that most people don't want to have to sell. Most people don't want to have to work and not make money. When you get started in Primerica, unless you're a really good salesperson, and unless you have like a big database of people that are just itching to buy some life insurance from you, it's probably going to take you a few months or maybe even a year or two to get pretty good at the Primerica thing where you can be making really good money, because you're going to have to learn how to sell people stuff. And some of the stuff you actually have to get qualified to sell, right? There's a lot of things you have to go through to learn. So in the beginning, you're going to be spending a lot of time probably not making that much money. You might be motivated to do that. You might understand what's called delayed gratification. So, okay, I'm not going to get rich now, but if I do this for a year or two, I could have my life change for the better. Most people, though, are not motivated to do that. Most people are not willing to do things that make them uncomfortable for an extended period of time with the hopes of potentially making good money in the future. That's why Primerica has such a high turnover rate. I personally recruited a lot of people underneath me. So I'm this person. I recruited a lot of people underneath me. I got an award. Primerica gave me an award for recruiting a lot of people. All the people that I recruited underneath me, all of them left. None of them sold anything, and I never made a penny off of any of their efforts. So in order for you to get people underneath you to actually stick and do the work long term, that can take a lot of time. It can take a lot of time to find those people and train them and motivate them. It can take a long time. So this is what you need to be aware of. The company works, they're legit, but if you're trying to make money fast, there's other ways that are better. Now, I've started over a dozen businesses, and I've done pretty much everything. I've done traditional businesses, weird businesses. I tried selling stuff door to door. I have 3 traditional businesses now, and one of the things I like about the businesses that I have now is I have multiple employees. So I can say to the employee, I want you to do this. And for you doing this, I'm going to pay you this amount. I got right around a dozen employees now. And it's easier to motivate them. The average person is more motivated where they say, okay, I'm going to go do work for Aaron for 8 hours, but he's going to pay me a guaranteed $20 an hour. At the end of the day, I'm guaranteed to make $160. It's easier to get people to do that than to say, hey, you're going to do a bunch of shit you don't want to do for about a year, and maybe you'll make some money. Does that kind of make sense? Anyway, what I did is from everything that I've tried, and I've tried a bunch of things, and there's easier ways to make money than other ways. There's better opportunities out there than other opportunities. I put together a free report that reveals 3 ways you can start using right now today to make $100 a day online fast. Each of these 3 ways are 100% free to do. There's no recruiting. You don't have to get anyone to sign up for anything. There is nothing you have to sign up for. You don't have to pay to do any of these things. You never have to pay to ever do any of these things. There's no selling, and you don't need any experience needed. And you can literally do these for any of these 3 from anywhere in the world. If that is any interest to you, if you look in the description, so underneath this video in the description, I have a link where you can access the free report. It's going to say something along the lines of 3 ways to start making an extra $100 a day online fast. If you click that link, you can download the free report. I'm going to reveal and show you what each of the 3 ways are, and then I'm going to show you step by step how to start implementing each of the 3 ways in your life, so it's almost impossible not to start making money fast. You can literally start making money before you go to bed tonight with the information you'll get. So again, if that is any interest to you, if you look in the description, you can access the free report in the description there. So that's what I got for you guys. To sum up Primerica, it works. It's legit. They're a good company. Lots of people are making money with them. However, the majority of people that get involved with them, a lot of them don't really start seeing results and pretty good money for usually a few months, if not a year or two, because they have to get good at selling. They have to get good at getting referrals. They have to get good at being able to recruit people. They have to get good at being able to motivate people that don't want to sell, that aren't that motivated to show up to, Primerica and do the work. So it takes effort, but you can make money with it. That's what I got for you guys. My name is Aaron Goldsten, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye for now.